Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
Hello, and we are in Monroe, Georgia, and I am here with Dan and Daniel at Hodges Family Dentistry. And first I want to thank you on behalf of the Chamber for your membership. We're so excited to have you here in your nice, beautiful facility. I can't wait for everybody to come by and see you guys. But Miss Sadie with the city is here. I'll let her say a couple of words.
Yeah, we are very excited to have you guys, and not just because you're bringing another business, but it's a family business. It's a new build. It's investing into the city on so many levels. So thank you very much. We wish you a lot of success and glad that you're a part of the Monroe business community.
Thank you, Miss Sadie. So Dan, tell us all about what
Well, we're glad to be here. I was born here, grew up here, and this is my son Daniel, and this is our office staff. This is Denise. She's our front office manager. This is Heather, she's assistant and front office manager. This is Ashley, she's my assistant basically, and she keeps me on tab. And this is my wife Marcia, she's our marketing director. Daniel is the junior, he's Daniel B. Hodges, I'm Daniel A. And this is Tori, his wife, and she's our hygienist. And we're excited to be here.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's so much fun working with my son and learning some new things from him. And I think he's learning a few things from me.
Small things, yeah.
But to be an old Monroe boy, Monroe has been really good to us. We started here in January 13th this year because we've had some struggles just like every other business with the COVID shutdown, but we're back up and running and taking new patients. And if you call us today, we probably could see you today. But we have now over 1,100 patients in our practice, and Monroe has been good.
Very good.
Well, we're following all guidelines, so everyone feel comfortable coming to see us in the operatories, or we're in our N95 masks. We got face shields, we got gowns that we change between every patient, washing hands before seeing everyone, of course wearing gloves appropriately, and yeah, so you feel comfortable as we feel working on y'all, okay?
So if you saw us coming in the room, you would not recognize us.
Yeah. It's probably the one time you get to see our face.
Sometimes if you look at Denise, at Heather and Ashley, and they have similar hair colors, sometimes I think Ashley's in there working with me, and it's actually because there's so much on. Everybody has so much garb on, but it makes the patient safe, it keeps us safe, and that's what we have to do going forward. And just come see us. We're here to help you and take care of your dental needs. And if you need a family dentist, it's going to be here for a long, long time. And it's not a corporate dentist. We are here to treat your needs and take care of your family and just keep you healthy in your dental needs.
Perfect. Well, tell everybody how they can come find you.
Okay, we're at 1190 West Spring Street. If you know anything about Monroe, we're directly across from the Pizza Hut. We're in between O'Reilly's and Advanced Auto Parts. If you see Advanced Auto Parts, turn in, that's where we are. 1190 West Spring Street. Our phone number is 770-267-6318. We're at Hodges Family Dentistry on Facebook, and HodgesFamilyDentistry.com is our website.
That's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was right, that sounded right.
For an old guy, I'm pretty good. So this has been a great startup. I never dreamed we were doing this well at this point in time, even being shut down for 2 months. So.
Well, congratulations. That is great. Like I said, I know when we first came in, we were talking back and forth about the social distance and the mask and everything, so that's why we kind of did a little different, and that's what we want to do. We want everybody to know that, yes, you can come here, feel safe, and get that smile going for you and take care of you. So, again, congratulations, and y'all ready to go out and cut your ribbon?
Yes, let's do it. All right, thank you.
Yeah, Patrick's my best friend.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Wait.
And 1, 2, 3, go.
There you go. Perfect. Good job.
Very exciting.
We have box lunches here. Yeah. Have lunch.
You're watching Walton Entertainment.
Hello, Walton County. This is Kevin Little with Chairman's Report on Walton Entertainment, Channel 18.3. It's good to talk with you again today. We're just in the midst of Hurricane Sally that just come ashore down near Gulf Shores, Alabama, and we're in heavy rain. 6 to 8 inch range is what we've had here lately. So far, we haven't lost but 3 roads, which are the normal roads that go underwater whenever we have any heavy rain. So be mindful if you're out, if you have any heavy rains, and do not cross any flowing water that crosses the road, because you don't know that the pipe may not be there and it could be out. I want to talk to you on a couple of things today. First of all, I want to brag on Walton County and all the citizens. We are currently, out of 159 counties in the state of Georgia, we are 8th. We are tied with Gwinnett County with 69.9% of our people have completed their census work. We are, Oconee County is in 5th, they are 70.7%, and Barrow County is in 7th at 70.5%. So Fayette County is number 1 with right at 80%, but I think that's really, really good for Walton County to be in the top 10 out of 159 counties. We want to thank everybody, and if you or your family have not done the census, you still have a couple of weeks here toward the end of September to get it done. It's very important for the next 10 years for federal dollars to be flowing into Walton County, and so we need to get as many people as we can counted. So please do that. Very simple. Go online to do that at the U.S. Census, and you can get that took care of. Another thing I want to talk to you about is, most of you may or may not know that Walton County is partly in the Metro Planning District for air quality, and we have been drafted to do a Walton County Comprehensive Transportation Plan, which will expand Walton County to where they'll be looking at public transit, they'll be looking at bicycle, more walking trails, more bicycle routes, more things that will reduce the use of vehicles and hopefully increase the air here. They've been using our air for now about 20-25 years to clean up the metro Atlanta air, and now we've get to the point to where we've got to do a transportation plan. So they're going to be looking at that, and you'll be seeing a lot more traffic boxes and a lot of traffic counts going on. I know there's some throughout the county right now, but that's Georgia DOT just doing their annual report of what's on the road. So that's something I wanted to update you about. Did also want to talk to you about the T-Splice that's coming up here in November. It'll be on the ballot. The first chance we had to vote on T-Splice was back in 2012, and we were in the Northeast Georgia group then with a big group, and the Atlanta metro area was in another group, and so it has kind of tainted what we were trying to get over here in Northeast Georgia. Several counties have already passed. Athens-Clarke has passed one. Oglethorpe County has passed one. Barrow County and Newton County are in the process of putting one on. It's just very hard to do any road improvements without a large amount of money, and DOT really moves you up the list if you have this. So did want to tell you that the current budget that we're operating under, I've seen some comments about why don't you take the current dollars. Well, the current dollars is around $6 to $7 million is what we have in transportation in our public works department, and that's basically maintaining and upkeeping what we have. That's not building new roadways, or not building better intersections or such as that. So it's very hard to do that when major transportation projects they start out at a minimum of $1 to $5 million, just depending on what you're doing. And then if you have to do a bridge, they start out at $3 million and they go to $10 million. So we've got a lot of infrastructure in Walton County that needs to be improved over the several years. And so the opportunity is coming up in November, and it'll be up to you to decide whether you want to or not. The cities, every city in the county has passed a resolution, and the county has passed it, and we're all in favor of it. Most of it is going to be improving the major corridors, which are state related. You're in Loganville, you're looking at State Route 20 and 78, and 81 at 78, and various other roads up that way. Monroe, you're looking at the Charlotte-Rowell westbound ramp. You're looking at the eastbound off of 78 to help move that up, and a lot of transportation issues there. Social Circle is looking at a roundabout at each end of the bypass, and Walnut Grove's looking at a roundabout or some type of improvement there in downtown Walnut Grove at 81 and 138. And Walton County, we're looking to improve all the intersections out to 138 corridor, HD8, the Youth Jersey, and as I said, the one at 138 and 81. 78 at Ho-Hum Hollow, we're looking to do something there, and we're the whole corridor of 81. We want to look at intersections there too, from Loganville all the way to the Newton County line. So that's what we're kind of looking at, possibly widening of Pleasant Valley Road from State Route 11 over to 83, Youth Monroe Road and Center Hill Church Road, widening of those roads. DOT is already in the process of approved, and we'll be putting in a roundabout at 81 in Ozora Church. But as you can see, and this will improve a lot of the traffic. As we said in 2012, Walton County at the time was just a fuzz over 80,000 citizens, and we're in 1970, when the majority of our roads were built, we were about 26,000. So as we approach this census I talked about earlier, we're going to be very close to 100,000 people. So it is one penny, and it is one new penny, and so but when you leverage that with Georgia DOT's money, it really does improve a lot. It would be nice to be able to come out and just be able to travel freely throughout the county and throughout the cities, because it's only going to get worse as both Walton County and the cities continue to grow more and more over the next few years. As I said, the Walton County budget has been pretty much in line for the last few years, so there's not a lot of waste in there, and not a lot of extra money that can be used on a road improvement, because when you have to match $1 to $5 million, it don't come out of the public works budget, because it's just not there. So if you have any questions or concerns, please give me a call, 770-267-1316, or I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson, and I'm here with the Recreation Report. We're happy to say that our baseball and softball, all of our fall sports, football and cheerleading and soccer has all started. We had a big day last weekend with our jamboree, and there were a great crowd, and everybody stayed responsible, and we played all of our games. Our jamboree, it kicks off our football and cheerleading season, where teams come in and play 2 half games against 2 different opponents, and work on things that they need to get the season started, which started this past Monday, and things are going great. The weather has changed a little bit on us. As you know, the hurricane has come through and has dropped a lot of rain on us here, so we'll probably be delayed a little bit due to that, but we look for our fall season to continue through the end of September and October. So if you're wanting to get out and see a ball game, it's a great opportunity. We play usually Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at all of our parks, and normally on those days we have around 40 to 50 ball games at each, throughout the county. So it's always a great time to go and pick up a football game, a baseball or softball game, or a soccer game. With that being said, our winter registration is coming up September 21st through October 2nd. It's 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and you can register online at any time starting September 21st. And I would encourage you to sign up early online. And the reason that is there's a lot of counties that aren't participating in basketball. And we've really racked our brains and came up with what we think is a good plan for basketball season. Some people think we're over cautious, but we're going to start the season off this way, and if we see we can make some adjustments, we will. But some of the things that we're doing to be able to play basketball this year with our youth, and that is what it's about, is playing basketball for our youth and getting their exercise and being able to play those team sports. So some of the things we're going to have to limit is spectators. We're going to have to limit the spectators to 1 per person. We realize that somebody has to bring that child to the game, and we don't expect you to wait outside. So one spectator per person is allowed to come in the gym, and then we're going to have it spaced out. Our gyms aren't as big as most high school gyms. They're a little smaller in size, so we've got to limit the number of spectators, especially when we're playing up to 3 games a night on a weekday. and sometimes 10 to 11 games at each gym on a weekend. So you could tell when you have those between games, you could get a larger number of people in the gymnasium. So we're going to limit that to one, and we think we could keep our number down to the size of our gyms and the spectator areas that we have to a comfortable number to be able to stay social distanced. We do want those that can health-wise wear masks while they're in there. And again, these are just precautions, and if the CDC comes up with better guidelines that we don't have to do that, then of course we'll loosen ours as well. We don't want to keep folks away. Our primary goal is to make sure that the youth get to have their basketball season. And I know that if everybody really thinks about it, that is what it's about. So September 21st through October 2nd, you can register. Again, it's open until full. Last year we had over 1,000 kids that played in our youth basketball season, and if the fall sports program and is any indication, it will fill up extremely fast. So folks that are listening to this are from Walton County, please sign up early, because we do allow outside folks to come in, but we do charge them that additional fees if they want to come to our programs. But sign up September 21st. We'll have a flyer online that'll tell you all about the online process to register if you haven't played in our program before. If you have, then we've been doing this now for over a year, so you probably already have all the things you have, so to make it really simple for you to go online and register for the program. Our splash park is really starting to move now. The one that kind of got delayed through, we were hoping to have it open in July, then it got pushed to the end of September, but the new date for final completion is October 31st. Is the date that they've given me that they think that it will be completed. Now, will we be able to open it? Probably not. It's a little bit too cold, but there are some other features that will be open at that particular park that you'll be able to go to. We're adding some pickleball courts there. We're going to add at least 4, probably 6 pickleball courts that are being bid out right now. So those will be done over the winter. We've got a dog park that's going in also. The concession stand is already built. The inside finishes are now going in, and the splash park features are starting to arrive, and those won't take too long to get installed. And we're really looking forward to this addition to the Walton County Parks system. So look for that. If you're in between on Highway 78, you want to drive by there, it's next to the fire department and the DDS. It's across the street from both of those, and you can kind of see the progress that's going on there. So it's going to be a very nice park with all those additions to it. It's going to have a nice parking lot, and so we're really looking forward to that at the end of October. Again, we have a lot of things going on at South Walton as well. We've got our contract that's been awarded for our new community center there. So we'll be having a groundbreaking next Friday, the 24th, I believe it is, or the 25th. And so we'll have a groundbreaking then, and then some construction will begin down at South Walton. So we have a lot of great things and a lot of growth going on here at the Parks and Recreation Department. And we appreciate all the volunteers and all the participants that allow us to come in and how they act while they're at the parks. It's been great over the past 6 months or so, where we're one of the few programs that have continued to operate, where a lot of the counties around us have either been forced to shut down, or their leadership has decided that it was in the better interest. We've continued to play here with our programs. Some of them have been modified a little bit, but for the most part, the kids are getting to participate, and we appreciate it. It's thanks to you guys that we're able to do that. So remember, sportsmanship starts at home, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Creative artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artist today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist, they'll put you in the spotlight.
Always trying to tell y'all something that you don't already know, because I come here so often, and it's both a blessing and a curse. But I got some new information for you today. I think everybody knows me, so I'm not going to introduce myself. And I know that y'all know about our organization, Student Success Alliance. We very successfully last year transitioned out of our national network and became an independent local organization. And right in the 3/4 of the way into the year, we had to close down like everything else. So we were really on a roll, doing great under our new banner, and then we had to kind of pivot a little bit, but we did, and we were very successful with that. So I want to just give you an update on really what the impact of COVID has been on our organization and on our students, and then tell you about some new things that we have coming up. But to start with, I'm going to just show you this video, and I'm hoping that the sound is going to be good and everything's going to work. So let's just try that. You may have to be a little bit quiet for the speaker.
So valuable because it not only impacts the micro level, it impacts our whole community.
Okay, that's not going to be loud enough. You just saw that.
It makes our whole community safer, more safe.
That's a video that we produced last year. I know that y'all saw the video. I showed y'all another video last year that featured some of our students and told some of their stories. And this video is community leaders talking about the impact of the work. So I really encourage you to go out. This is on our website, and you can go out and take a look at that. But one of the things that I love about this video is the broad range of community leaders that we have involved. We have some of our SSA board members, we have law enforcement, we have the faith community, we have the superintendent, people who come from all walks of life are involved in our work, and I think that is a real testament to the reach and the importance of the work that we do. I encourage you to go out and look at that. But one of the things that I want to really focus on today is a kind of a shift in work that we have done this year. And that is because of COVID. So, let's see. So y'all know that we've had a big emphasis for the last several years on college and career preparation, and we still have that focus. This year we're going to be moving our big College and Career Expo to an online platform, and students are going to be able to do it from their classroom. And that's going to be a massive project, logistical project, and it's going to require a lot of community involvement. So last year when maybe some of you came and participated and you set up an exhibit, or you were a workshop presenter, or you hosted a bus tour, this year we're going to be asking everybody to record all of that so that we can put it onto an online platform that students can participate in. And it's an exciting project and something that we're really looking forward to, and we think will have a big impact. The advantage of the online program is going to be, I think we're going to be able to have more students participate, and we're going to have more students be able to choose the tours and workshops that they want. We won't have any capacity issues. So that'll be interesting to see how all that unfolds. So we do still have a great focus on college and career preparation, but we've also had to pivot a little bit because one of the greatest needs in schools now is mental health. We've got the shutdown really caused a lot of isolation for students and a lot of stress on families, and even still having to go to school, a lot of the kids are still wearing masks. They're having to stay in classrooms. There's not as much circulation. There's not as much social activity. And so the stress that the kids are experiencing is substantial. So our organization, when it was Communities in Schools, and even now as Student Success Alliance, has always been in the business of what's called social emotional learning. That's a new buzzword. Y'all know that education has trends that we go through every year. Sometimes the big thing is the new math, or the last few years the big thing has been positive behavior interventions. And now the new thing that schools are really focusing on is called social emotional learning. We've always done social emotional learning, even before it was called that. And what that means is teaching kids how to be self-aware, how to interact with other people, how to set and meet goals, how to be resilient. All those things are social emotional skills that kids need to have. And they're not necessarily always being taught these things at home. So we have launched a new program called the Social Emotional Learning Resource Center, and it lives on our website here. And you can sign up to get email alerts with that. But it gives you three different places to go when you visit the SEL Resource Center, and I want to show you that. So this is a place where we have been curating materials. We're not creating anything, but we're looking at the best practices and the material, the research-based material that's already exists out on the internet and the community, and we've curated it in 3 different places. So this button here, when you go to this is a place where students can click and they can get resources. They can find out how to develop their resiliency skills. They can find out how to develop their relationship skills. They can also go to a couple of hotlines for mental health intervention. So if they need to talk to a counselor, or if they're having some kind of episode, they can go directly to that and get the resources that they need. We've got a section here for teachers, and this is a place where teachers can get material that they can share in their classroom. And we're continuing to build on this library. We're getting resources from school counselors. We're looking for our own resources. We're going out to national thought leaders in this area, and we're developing that material onto this library. So teachers can go there. They can pick out lesson plans and activities that they can do in their classroom and different ways that they can integrate social emotional learning into their classroom. And then we have a place here for families. When you click on these things, it takes you to a video that explains more about what social emotional learning is and why it's important for student success. And it gives you a place where you can see a resource list that looks like this. It's just a roster of links that you can go to get material. So, some of you who might still have kids in school, you may be, I heard Russell say this morning about how tough it was last year, that he had to work all day and then he had to come home and help his kids do their online learning. It was very stressful. We're seeing that across the board. The stress of trying to make sure kids stay on track in school in this new environment is hard on families. And so we've got resources there for families to be able to develop their own resiliency skills and just kind of keep everything under control with that. So that's one of the new areas that we're really working hard on to try to coordinate across the schools and across the 2 school districts and be a good resource. The main piece of that's important to students is our site coordinators. Y'all know that we have a site coordinator inside the building that serves as a mentor, counselor, guide, advocate for students, and our site coordinators just do such a tremendous job working one-on-one with students, providing school-wide programs, and working with small groups. That's our model. That's how we do our work. And for a lot of our kids, that site coordinator is their lifeline. That's somebody that they can really go to and say, hey, I'm having a problem, I need some help, and I don't know where to go or what to do. They just sort of serve as that advocate and navigator. Those site coordinators were so important during when the schools were closed for distance learning, because we had a lot of kids who didn't have access to the internet or didn't have any adult supervision at home, so they weren't logging on and they weren't doing their work, and they didn't understand that they had to do their work. They thought we were just out of school. And so those site coordinators checking in and giving them, incentivizing them, motivating them, making sure they had resources, making sure they had food, making sure they had internet service. That's a role that our site coordinators pulled off heroically during the distance learning. And our site coordinators are still working with students who have chosen to do distance learning now. We have a number of kids who are in our case management who chose distance learning, so our site coordinators are having to check in with them and make sure that they stay on track through that whole process and work with students who are in person in the building. So it's been a real challenge for our site coordinators, but we have the very best people, so they have handled it wonderfully. Another new project that we have coming up, we received a grant to build a college and career resource center at Loganville High School. We already had a grant to do that in Monroe area and at Walnut Grove, and we hope in the future to be able to put one in Social Circle, and that would be all 4 of the high schools that we serve. And these resource centers are a room in the school building where our site coordinator would be on site all the time. It's sort of a new office for our site coordinators, but bigger than a little desk and a file cabinet that our site coordinators sometimes have. It's a big room, it's a classroom. And our site coordinators can then use that to host college recruiters who come in, or to hold industry interviews, or to have different kinds of workshops and seminars. And then they have libraries in those rooms where you got manuals for kids about how to seek scholarships, or how to apply for financial aid, or how to prepare for the SAT, all those kinds of resources, how to choose what kind of job you want. So a big resource center, and we're about to open that at Loganville High School. Probably in the next week or so, we'll have a ribbon cutting for that. So lots of good, exciting things going on in SSA. It's definitely been a challenge to have to do this with social distance. Our committees have been meeting via Zoom, and our site coordinators have not been able to get together as much. But I think we've weathered it, and I think we might be coming out the other end of this. I think everybody's starting to feel like things are starting to stabilize. I was really concerned that we would open school and then it would close back down, but it's not looking like that right now. Of course, you never know what the next day will hold, but for right now, everything looks pretty stable inside schools, and everything's running really smoothly, and it looks like we might be able to maintain what we've got and keep it open and keep moving forward. So that's all the new news that I have for you about our work, but I do want to stop here and see if you have any questions. I'd love to find out more about what you're interested in.
You mentioned more of a digital presence for the career fair.
Yes.
It's kind of ongoing, or the site coordinators having to rely on that.
Well, there are some new rules in the school about how the students can navigate around the building. They're not just free to walk around, to go check in with their site coordinator. A lot of our things, we've had to kind of adjust our methodology a little bit. Where students used to come in to meet with site coordinators, now they're set up with the plexiglass screen in some of our offices, and the students have to stay back a little bit. So that's hard. The big piece of what we do is building relationships, and when you're having to do that through a piece of glass and a mask and 10 feet away, it's harder. But everybody's been pretty resilient and working on that. A lot of the basic needs supplies that we provide, the school supplies, food, clothing, hygiene items, instead of students coming into the office to get it, we got new websites set up where students can click and say, hey, I need this, and it'll be delivered to their classroom. So cutting down some of that traffic a little bit, but still providing the same service. It's just had to be a new way of thinking about everything. But yes, we're still in there doing everything that we've always done, and some of it we've just had to reconfigure a little bit, but our site coordinators are extremely dedicated to their work and love their kids and want to do everything we can to support them.
How does the caseload this year compare to, and last year's not a good gauge, I don't guess, first part of your mind, and also, how much more emotional issue do you see with kids?
Tremendous emotional issues. Even though kids are back in school, they're still somewhat isolated. The isolation has been very hard on kids. The schools have a new rotation for lunch. Everybody's not going into the classroom. So if you don't have your lunch period with your best pals, you're not seeing your best pals. You're not hanging out, in front of the building anymore. You're not. They're having football games, but it's they don't have as many activities. The clubs don't meet in person. Lots of things to get that social piece for kids is gone. And so kids are struggling with that. And we were already having sort of a mental health crisis with kids related to social media. Kids live for how many likes and how many views and how many, did they like my outfit today? Did they like my silly stunt on TikTok? And if they don't get that reinforcement, it has a huge impact on kids. It's not like when we were in school. And so, to live your whole life online and to have that be the only feedback you get, it is mentally difficult on kids. So we're seeing a very high anxiety. We're seeing a lot of impact of isolation, a lot of kids that have become withdrawn, they're not able to socialize.
More so the younger kids before they start driving, because the kids are driving with normalcy in their kids. There's no isolation there.
Yeah.
There was initially.
Yeah.
But the younger kids, I think
yeah.
They didn't see each other for months. No other kids.
And that's why we have this big emphasis on social emotional learning. It's that whole piece is really about teaching kids to be gritty, to be tough. It's about It's about them learning the skills that they need to survive a challenge. And that's more important than it ever has been.
Well, y'all know, like Social Circle, so before COVID, we had 2 student suicides within a 4-week period. They were both seniors. So I know it was, the whole district was hit with it. It was very difficult. And then COVID hit, and it made it even a little bit more. So I know for, like, I can speak for Social Circle, like, their focus on this is really, really, important right now through the COVID. And there's sentence about, even to the younger kids, because where I think it was kind of an eye-opener where they didn't think there was an issue, but then all of a sudden there was an issue, and they really started to take a look at the different grade levels, how it was impacting, all the ages of there. So I can think for our community over there, it's really been impactful.
And a lot of the focus on social emotional learning is about kindness, inclusion, cooperation. It has to do with kids building the skills that they need to be able to interact with each other, and be successful. When we look at kids who are not doing well in school, it's usually rooted in some kind of lack of social emotional skills. They don't know how to set goals. They don't know how to stick with their goals. They give up too easily. They aren't resourceful. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to go to their teacher and ask for help. These are social emotional issues. This doesn't really have anything to do with whether or not a kid is academically capable. It's their ability to navigate.
And I think that was the stigma in Social Circle. They're like, well, both these kids, they were straight A students. They were athletes.
Yeah.
They were,
kids.
so they were like, no, this doesn't happen. And then it was like a realization, no, this happens to everyone.
Right.
It's not just the ones that are failing or not athletes. These are kids who were well-known, well-liked, athletes, good grades, good, involved. So it was, like I said, it was an awakening. Sure.
And the schools are really ramping up. The counselors are involved in this. The school administration is involved in this. It's a big movement all the way across. It's not just us, but we do have a role to play in this because we have such a long history of working in this field. So I'm excited about being able to be part of that team and for this to be a new focus for Student Success Alliance. And like I said, it has always been something we've done because it has always been the reason that students don't succeed is because they don't have these life skills that they need to be able to navigate and stick to their goals and do well.
What about funding? And if the community wanted to help, what can they do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. So we've got, yeah, Keith said just write a big check. So we've got several ways that people can participate and give to our organization. We want people to be engaged. We want people to volunteer. We have a number of committees that people can serve on and to help us organizationally with our fundraising committee or our PR committee or our executive committee to just help us run our organization. But also each school has what we call a site team, which is a little advisory committee that works directly with that site coordinator to put on programming in that school. So we encourage people to volunteer that way. And then as far as funding, we have a program called the Honor Roll. It's available on our website. You can go to our website, ssawalton.org, click on the sustain button, the donate button, and it'll let you sign up for a monthly gift. So we really encourage people to do the monthly gift. It's an easy way to give. Once you sign up, it comes out of your credit or debit card every month, and it's affordable, and it makes a huge difference to us because that gives us sustainability. That's money that just flows in all the time and that we don't have to keep chasing all the time. So we really encourage people to sign up for the Honor Roll. We also have a number of special events. Our committee just met this morning and we're looking forward to announcing some exciting events that we'll need sponsors for and participants for. So we'll be coming back out to you and out to the community with information on that as well. And then anytime anybody wants to, they're welcome to just make a philanthropic gift, just write a big check like Keith said. We are a 501c3 charity just like the Red Cross or the YMCA, and we depend on the community for funding. We don't have our own sources of funding. It all comes out of the community, it all comes out of donations. So we really want people to to follow their passion and give in a way that is meaningful to them. And we're open to all different ways to do that. Good question, thank you. Keith, you asked me about the caseloads, and they're about the same because we have a goal for case management every year. In the high schools, it's 5% of the school population, so the different schools are different sizes, so they have different numbers, but it's anywhere from about 60 to about 80 kids that we work with one-on-one in the high schools. And we stay at capacity on that. So we're not any higher or lower than we would have been. There probably is a greater need.
Did the digital learning change that any? Because some did stay home.
But they're still in our case management.
85% of our kids came back to school.
But the ones who were in our case management that stay home are still in our case management. We're still taking care of them.
You still don't have personal interaction.
Well, we Zoom and we, Google Classroom, Google Meet, Schoology, all those platforms that the schools have available. So we are in personal one-on-one contact, it's just not face-to-face. Good question. All right, anything else? Well, I appreciate the time to come and give you all an update. I appreciate all the support that this club gives to us every year, and I hope to see you around. I hope you'll find a way to get involved, and like I said, we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for ways for people to be involved, and if you are interested in our work and want to get a little more involved in it, just let me know, and I'll plug you in where we can use you. Thank you so much.
Hello, we are in Monroe, and I am here with Greg and Michael. We're here at John's Supermarket and also Bistro South. And we got two things going on, so we're going to tell you about that in just a minute. But Miss Sadie here from the city is here. We're going to let her say a couple of words.
Yeah, we're thrilled about this project, which you'll know. We're excited to have a new restaurant in town and to have a larger grocery option. This is my grocery store. This is where I come all the time to shop because it's right in the middle of our neighborhoods, right in the heart of downtown, and the design is beautiful. So when there's design that's new construction and infill, but it looks like the historic buildings, we love it. It's perfect. So thank you for doing it so well, and we're excited about more to come. So
thank you so much, Sadie. I want to go to Michael first since we're right here because the food, my eyes are right on the food, so you know where I go with it. So we're going to let you tell us a little bit about Bistro South.
Yeah, so the idea for Bistro South is just to be a really affordable neighborhood bistro. All of our food is scratch made, so nothing comes out of the can, nothing sits in storage for a really long time. Really just trying to offer really affordable, fresh food kind of quickly. You can come sit down here, get a quick meal, hang out with your friends, have a nice craft beer, or domestic if that's your thing. But really it's just to be a good place for the community to come hang out and eat well.
Yeah. And so I want to sample a little bit of the pimento cheese already, and it is the bomb, so that's something you want to make sure to take note of. And so we're going to be celebrating your ribbon cutting for this, but also we're going to be celebrating the re-grand opening of John's Supermarket. So tell us all about your new, huge, beautiful place.
Okay, so we've been here since 1965 on the same spot. We just moved buildings around a little bit. So in 2009, we had a chance to expand, so I built a grocery store that's behind us that was twice the size of the one we were in. We offered twice the amount of things that we've had, and the community just gathered around us and supported us so good that we needed to expand again. So we doubled the size of that store. So now we actually carry a whole lot of items. We feature our meat department as always, because you can always get the freshest cuts of meat 7 days a week. We added a deli that features boar's head lunch meats, homemade desserts, and some different salads back there. We doubled the size of our produce department, frozen food department, dairy department, grocery department, and we also doubled the size of our beer department, carrying a lot of craft beers that you can't get anywhere else. You can't get any of this craft beer in the city of Monroe. accept here. Some of it's canned, but we have a large variety. We added the restaurant because my son said he wanted to come back and work with me and carry on the family business, and that made me happy. So that's why we spent the money, and I think we gave Monroe a great product and a great place to come and shop. Some of the things that Michael does offer that he didn't say, we have a take and bake section over here that you can come. If you want a home cooked meal, you can come get these things that are already made. All you do is put them in the oven and cook them, and you don't have to mess up the kitchen. It gives you more family time. If you worked all day long, it's great just to come by, get these items. They're already made. You don't have to pre-order them, bring them home and throw them in the oven, and you got family time and stuff like that. Like I said, our community has just supported us so well, and we're glad to have the opportunity to expand and bring you a product that you're proud to walk into. We also are going to have 6 loft apartments on top, and they should be opening up somewhere in April, I think. We got to get started on this. We're fixing to close out this section here of our project and move on in to the second phase, which will be finishing out the loft apartments. And you know, several years ago, Monroe decided to go in the phase of live, work, and play, and we're adding to that. You can live on top of the store, you can shop on the bottom of where you live at, you got parks over there, you got drug stores up there downtown, and you can walk to everything. So I want to thank Sadie, Downtown Development Authority. They were huge in helping us get these plans to the council and getting them okayed by the council. I want to thank the city council, mayor, I see you walked in there, for all the support that they gave us through this project. As you know, when you go into a building project, sometimes it can be difficult with all the codes and stuff like that, working with the different departments. City of Monroe has streamlined everything where you call one person and they get everything done. So if folks want to develop in the City of Monroe, I highly encourage it. And that, we thank you for being here.
Great. Real quick, Michael, y'all have a Facebook page, right?
We actually just established a Facebook page, Bistro South. We have a website, it's eatbistrosouth.com.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's
So your menu's on there so they can look and go. And
yes, we will post our blue plate rotates every day. So what's found over here in this section, and that will be posted every day, plus our grill menu, which changes seasonally.
Okay, and then one of y'all want to give me y'all's address, I know it's the same. But
Yep, address is 416 South Broad Street, just right below Hardee's. You can't miss it. Phone number 770-267-5632.
perfect. Well, again, congratulations to both of you, and y'all ready to go cut ribbons?
Yeah.
All right, count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
This book is called Sleep Like a Tiger. It was written by Mary Loge and illustrated by Pamela Zagorinsky. Let's read. Once there was a little girl who didn't want to go to sleep, even though the sun had gone away. She told her mother, "I'm not tired." She told her father, "I'm just not sleepy." They nodded their heads and said she didn't have to go to sleep, but she had to put her pajamas on. She picked out her favorite pajamas that matched the night sky. "I'm still wide awake," she announced. Her parents said that was fine, but she should wash her face and brush her teeth, so she did, It felt good to be nice and clean. Then, because she loved climbing into her bed, she did, stretching her toes down under the crisp sheets, lying as still as an otter floating in a stream. Does everything in the world go to sleep? She asked. Yes, her parents told her. Our dog is sleeping right now, curled up in a ball on the couch, where he's not supposed to be. And the cat is fast asleep, stretched out in front of the fireplace, the warmest spot in the house. What about bats? She asked. They don't sleep. Not at night, her parents agreed, but during the day they fold their wings, tuck their heads, and sleep hanging upside down in the safest place in the barn. Do whales sleep? She asked. Yes, they swim slowly around and around in a large circle in the ocean and sleep. Tiny snails? She asked. They curl up like a cinnamon roll inside their shell. Even grizzly bears? She asked. Bears are mighty sleepers. They make a cozy den under the snow and sleep through the winter. All winter? That's too long, she said. Most animals just sleep through the night, her parents said, tucking her in. I know an animal that sleeps a lot, the little girl told them. What animal is that? Her parents asked. The tiger in the jungle. When he's not hunting, he finds some shade, closes his eyes, and sleeps. That way he stays strong. Her parents nodded. Sleep is good for that. Then they kissed her, turned out the light, and stood in the doorway. I'm still not sleepy, she told them. We know, they agreed. You can stay awake all night long. They left her door open a crack. The little girl's bed was warm and cozy, a cocoon of sheets, a nest of blankets. Unlike the dog on the couch, she was right where she was supposed to be. She wiggled down under the covers until she found the warmest spot, like the cat in front of the fire. She folded her arms like the wings of a bat. She circled around like the whale. And the curled up snail. Then she snuggled deep as a bear, the deep sleeping bear. and like the strong tiger, fell fast asleep. The end. How would you like to read Brown Bear, What Do You See? By Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carl drew the pictures. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, what do you see? We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and a teacher looking at us. That's what we see. The end.
Creative artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artist today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist, they'll put you in the spotlight.